Evening bong, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today in the booth, great Scott, we have Gigawatt. So finally, after it being delayed for about 4 or 5 weeks in the UK, we finally have Gigawatt in the booth ready to have a look. So let's have a look at him. As we always do on this channel, let's take a quick look at the packaging. And the packaging for this one is really nice. I love it when they go back to these kind of classic, more 80s G1 inspired designs. Really nice. So we got the classic kind of artwork here on the side, which is looking beautiful. So we can see Gigawatt here in all of his glory, looking really nice. Hot flames right underneath this dude as well. So he looks pretty damn good. Nice clock tower there in the background as well. Some beautiful details all over this. We get to see the DeLorean in the back there when we look through this sheet as well. And then we also get down the side here, and if you can see it, we get Gigawatt 1.21 and a little Flux Capacitor down there. We get 2020 Back to the Future Cross Transformers, celebrating 35 years of Back to the Future. At the top, we have the transformation sequence and how it goes, and of course we know that this is based on a Siege Sideswipe. So there's a, we'll show you when you get into the figure, there's some retooling that's gone on, but a lot of it is kind of, certainly the bottom half is based on the Sideswipe. On the side we have 35th anniversary Transformers. The pack actually opens up very weirdly, because this section here, instead of coming out to the side like they usually would, this actually folds down. A little bit of an anomaly there. I've never really seen that on a figure before on these boxes. And then on the back, which is pretty cool, we have the Transformers logo. It looks more Back to the Future-y, but we do get an old school tech spec, which you don't really need one of these for, unfortunately, because the blue line, if you can see it here, is actually quite visible. It's more visible when you put that there, but it is very visible. It does have his character bio here. So his function is a time traveler, and you're never out of time when you're in a time machine. Very true. And on the side we get some product shots, and on the bottom we also get some product shots as well on the bottom, and that is pretty much it really for the box. We do get some destructions with this one. The destructions for this dude are nice kind of sheet format. The destructions are good, you know, they're Hasbro destructions, so they work fairly well. I do like the kind of blue design that's on this though as well. Looks really nice, goes well with the figure. Now let's take a look at the main event himself, and I love this alt mode. I have to admit, before we get cracking on this, this is a figure that I've had a love-hate relationship with at the moment. Certainly when it first came out, or certainly when we got the awareness that it was going to be a thing that was happening, I was super excited. Oh my god, Back to the Future with Transformers, two of my favourite franchises coming together. Oh yeah, this is going to be something great. And then they dropped the first product shots, and the bot mode was alright. You could tell it was a Sideswipe straight away, but the DeLorean, the alt mode, was horrifying. It had all that crappy shitty kibble in the front of it. Nobody knows why that was there. Huge thanks to Hasbro for actually listening to fan feedback on this, because it's now gone and we get a more beautiful looking DeLorean. So yeah, I was really happy that they went back. I think if that crap had stayed in the front, I don't actually think I'd have picked up this figure, because I didn't put a pre-order in for this dude until they fixed the windshield and made it overall look a slightly better, impressive alt mode. So when we look at the alt mode here, obviously this is the DeLorean, and what a DeLorean this is. I think this is a really great looking DeLorean. The wheels do spin really nicely, and all the wheels match and have hubcaps and everything, which is quite good from a Hasbro figure. at the moment, where we kind of just get the pegs on some of them. They obviously have put the work in on this one. Nice detailing here at the back as well. Really nice where the engine goes in. I think this is a really great looking DeLorean. You know, the front is really well done. The back has the, let's see if I can get it in focus, has the out of time section on the back on the number plate. Really nice. Well done to Hasbro on that. Pretty good. It does roll. My booth is not the best for rolling because it's plastic on plastic, but it does roll really nicely, really well. Moving on to some play features and accessories and stuff and things like that this guy has in this mode. Number one would be, and you probably saw it at the beginning of the video, is that this dude can turn into the flying section. So to do that, all you do is twist the wheel up, twist the wheel up, you can twist the wheel up, and you can twist the wheel up, and then you get your flying DeLorean. What's actually pretty cool, I don't know if they've done this on purpose, is there is a little port here, and with this port you can get one of your stands that you use for figures. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't come with a stand, and then you can use this port right here to just go into the stand as you would like on this one, and then you've got your car on a stand, which is great, you know, and it looks great on the stand as well. Really sets off the flying capabilities of this car. I'm currently playing through Cyberpunk 2077, unfortunately on a PlayStation 4, so this is kind of fitting with my mindset of flying cars and things like that at the moment, robots and flying cars and stuff. It looks great. I think this alt mode works really well, and especially in the flying mode as well. I think, you know, I think I've joked in other videos that some of the Siege figures can do this anyway, but no, really nice little thought there as well. Back on terra firma, and there's another couple of things that this dude can do in this mode as well. Number one being the gull wing doors, where you just pop the gull wing doors up and you can have the doors up like so, and you can pop the other one up as well, so you can have his gull wing doors up. I mean, obviously there's just transformation in there, there's no room for a figure or anything like that, but yeah, it has the gull wing doors that come up, and then they'll just tab back down as well. They do they hold in really well, so you know, the back piece may come out a little bit, you just need to push it back in. It also has, this is another accessory this has, it also has the rod that is supposed to get all of the lightning and channel it directly to the Flux Capacitor, but unfortunately they've made the bloody thing out of rubber, so when it's tied down in the pack, as you can see, mine is crooked. So I'm trying my best to kind of straighten it out now that I have it out the pack. But out the pack, I mean, this was all over the place straight out the pack because it was tied down. Obviously it's shipped from wherever it had shipped from, but trying to get this back straight, I really wish they hadn't made this out of rubber. Number one, rubber's not a very good conductor of lightning, so you wouldn't have a rubber one, Hasbro. But second of all, it just leaves it to be misshapen, whereas I really want this to be straight. That can then go straight into the port that's here to channel that straight into the Flux Capacitor. So you can see now that this has the hook on the car as well, just like in the movie, so that's quite nice the way that does that as well. Nice thought, nice added little accessory, but yeah, like I say, it's not quite right being rubber. And then the only bit that I think fails, apart from the rubberness of this, is this piece here. So for me, I can get it on there now, and I'm surprised it stayed on there, because this just wants to pop off all the time. This is actually, you know, this is where in Back to the Future 2, this is what lifts up, and then we can make the car run on rubbish or garbage if you're in the States. This piece, I think it goes on this way, but it does want to kind of pop off sometimes. It takes a bit to work it to get it on there. I have a few challenges with it last night trying to get it to actually stay on. But all in all, it's pretty good. It looks good. Right, get in there, mate. See, it doesn't quite want to stay on. You can see that now that it wants to push back off where it is. It's on there now, but it sometimes just wants to pop off. But overall, this alt mode, nice. So comparison time now, and let's start with another crossover that came out last year, and that is the Ghost, and has actually been reissued this year in a different colorway, but this is the Ghostbusters crossover that we had not so long ago. So yeah, together they look quite nice. I think they do compare in size, considering Ecto would fit what, 5 people in Ecto, and the DeLorean would fit well, just the 2 people. So I think they do compare pretty well in size, in quality, and in design and everything. I think they are really comparable. They look great. Personally, I think I still prefer the Ecto one. I think just more care, love, and attention went into that, and especially the Bolt mode and the Alt mode, than they did with this. But overall, yeah, they look great together. Certainly on a shelf for crossover, and even if you wanted to display both of them in their Alt modes as just a Ghostbusters or a Back to the Future fan, they both work. So yeah, really great there. Then, moving on to, I guess, the person you need to compare this to the most, Sideswipe from Siege. So we know that this figure is based on a Sideswipe model from Siege, but you can see there is some significant changes here. They've changed the front, they've changed the top. You can see where the similarities in the back are. Obviously, the wheels have changed as well. There's also changes when we do the transformation as well, and I'll kind of point that out when we get to it. But you can see that, you know, you can see how the mold works and how they are very similar when it comes to this mold. But yeah, they look nice together. I'll think I might actually display them on the shelf quite close together. And then next to something like an Earthrise Optimus Prime, yeah, they work. He could fit right in with your Siege figures. Transformation time on this dude then, and if you have a Siege version of Sideswipe or Red Alert, then you'll spot a few similarities here. But if you don't, then yeah, you know, the transformation is quite nice on this dude. The first thing that you need to do is just remove this, and then also remove the gun from underneath. So this is part of his accessories that he will have in his bot mode. And we will start with the legs. Very simple to do. You just unbuckle the gull wings on the back first of all on this guy, then flip him over and unbuckle the 2 leg parts at the bottom, then fold everything out. Now when you get to this section here, you're going to start pulling these feet out here. Now make sure that you do this very securely. Certainly one of my Sideswipes, this joint here can be quite loose sometimes. I'm okay on this one, but use the back here, push on both of these to push the feet out, and then maneuver them into position, and you can lock it down and separate the feet. After the feet, flip reverse the back of the figure so that you've got him round the other way, so you've got a full 360 there. And then we're going to fold the wheels onto the inside, so they're on a hinge and they just hinge in. This is like the first real difference from the Sideswipe mold. So everything down the bottom here is all the same. Then there's a little section here that you just need to untab and fold around. So again, this is different to the Siege mold from Sideswipe. So they have made some little alterations here, which is nice. Then you can fold out the arms all the way and fold this piece down. Now when you fold this piece down, you also want to pop out this section so that it can spin. So there we go, just give it a little push and it will come, and then you can fold everything down with the head. Now that everything's folded down, you just tab that bottom section in here, fold out his hands, and then this tab here goes into this tab here, and you just collapse the arm down and then it subs in. It doesn't really click in, it just kind of folds in, but it does hold it quite well. When I didn't hear it kind of click, I was concerned that the arm wasn't going to hold in very well, but it does. It holds in very, very well. So here is Gigawatt in all of his splendor and glory. The bot mode here is pretty good, if a little bit fat. For me, he looks a little bit wide. I mean, Sideswipe from this mold, they managed to keep it. We'll do a comparison again later on. They managed to keep him quite sleek and looked really, really good. For me, he looks a little bit blocky in this format, but let's have a look. That head sculpt is really cool. I like the kind of goggle type affair that he has going on with his eyes. Flux capacitor looking great. The dates on this that are 1985, 2015, and then 1955 as well. So you've got some really classic dates here on the front of his flux capacitor. Then also as we go down, lots of nice molded detailing. Not much is actually painted on this figure. A lot of it is grey plastic as we go through, but a DeLorean is grey, so that's pretty cool. On the back, he has a little bit of kibble. You can sort that out by moving them down, but yeah, they still look pretty good like that. Lovely tinted windows as we go back, and then on the back, the back is very clean. I love the legs actually, in the way that the back of the engine parts still show on the back of the legs. I think that looks pretty cool. My one challenge on this figure, and I really wish they'd just done it, maybe a third party will make a different section here for it. I love the flux capacitor lit up. That would have been dope as all hell. Why have we not got a flux capacitor that lights up? Flux capacitors light up. Light it up. Putting him next to his comic book self, we can see that they've actually done a pretty good job here at replicating how he looks in the comic. They've got the really nice blue eyes. The flux capacitor, his looks like it lights up, this one doesn't. They could have gone a little bit darker, I think, maybe on the detail in here, and put maybe some paint on this, but I don't know how well that would have worked with the transformation and scratching off. So yeah, you can see they've got black here on the sides for the cables, whereas they've got blue and red, so they've done a slight change there from how he looks in the comics, but overall not too bad. He does look very similar to his comic self. I'm going through these comics on the channel as well as they release. Part 1 is available on the channel right now, and it should appear somewhere. Let's take a quick look at the articulation here then, and starting with the head, he's on a ball joint, and it's okay. You can't get a full 360. You can get kind of an almost 360, but his chin is just too big to go past there, and you can get a little bit of up and down. If you have the side, you can get a lot of side to side going, but you can't get much up and down. If you have the Sideswipe mold, you know that you're not going to get much head articulation here, and not much has changed there. The wings, obviously, they articulate up and down, which will then give you more movement of his arm, where you can get a full 360 here at the top. At the elbow, you get a full 360 and a nice elbow bend, and the hands will go in due to the transformation. That's it there. At the waist, you get a full 360 at the waist, but no ab crunch or anything like that. The legs, unfortunately, are where we see the biggest problems. You get your normal forwards and backwards, but the knee bend, due to, I guess, all of the other stuff that's now going on here, is only that. That's the most you're gonna get. So if we just bring in Sideswipe here very quickly, you can see that Sideswipe's bend was not great, but he could get at least a 90 degree out of it. With Gigawatt, you're not gonna get even a 90 degree out of this. It's no better on the other side. No matter how you position these kind of bits here, you're only really gonna get. But I do believe that this dude can solidly ninja kick. Yeah, dude can solidly ninja kick. So that's pretty damn good. So articulation is okay, reasonable, but yeah, there's obviously there's a few challenges when it comes to the articulation. But he does pose, but I don't know, this fatness going on here just kind of makes all of his poses look a little bit awkward, I feel. Moving on to his accessories, and of course he comes with this gun that I said we'd get into. So this gun here, you've got this section, and all you do on this is just grab this section and put this on like that. And then you've got his gun, which is made out of the back of the car, and then it's just a molded plastic gun. It's got some detailing on it, no paint whatsoever. I think you can put that there, and you can also stick it there if you want. So you've got some options there on where you want this section to go. So I guess it can be powered by rubbish, or it can just go kind of on the back. I think I prefer it there on the back, and then that can just go into his hand there, and he looks pretty good with the old gun there. He's, you know, posable enough with his rifle, which is nice. And then the hook, also the hook is meant to go just on his arm here like this. It's a little loose, if I'm honest, on his arm, but it's supposed to go just there as like an added kind of melee weapon, I guess. And that's it. That's all the accessories that he comes with. He looks good with his accessories. Again, I think this is, yeah, it's there. But yeah, overall, yeah, you know, he looks great with his accessories. Now time for the comparisons, and let's start by bringing in Ectotron, and we can see he's obviously much smaller than Ectotron. They look nice together, but you do get the feeling that they're obviously from very different lines, with this being the Siege line. I'm not sure what line Ectotron was based on. Someone can help me out down in the comments. That would be really helpful for my learning during these videos. But yeah, they look okay together. They don't look as good together, I feel, in bot mode as they do in their alt modes. Ectotron, for my money, still the better of the two, the more interesting looking in their bot mode, and definitely the most interesting transformation. Then moving on to Siege Sideswipe, someone who is definitely more at home with, and yeah, you can see here they look very similar together. The legs on the transformation obviously is exactly the same. This is what I mean about the thinner side of it. So if we go around the side, we can just see that Sideswipe just looks so much better. This dude looks very blocky, and just doesn't help himself too much. I mean, it looks okay, don't get me wrong, but is there something they could have done just here? Yeah, it's just bizarre. And then next to Prime from, so bring in Prime from Earthrise, and we can see how they look together, and they look okay together. I would say he definitely fits in with your Siege collection. If you were thinking about having him like displayed next to them or in amongst them, I think, yeah, he fits in with the current line very well. Final thoughts then on this dude, and I have to say, I'm still not in love. I'm still not in love with this figure. I don't regret buying him, but my thoughts before I picked him up, certainly around the bot mode and how the chest looks just a little bit too squared off. It still bugs me a lot, as I've mentioned it quite a few times in this video. The alt mode though, I think is superb, and actually is probably how I'll display him, but I really like it. I think if you want to get this, then I would say, you know, make sure you pick it up at retail, not some of the exorbitant prices that we've seen online for this. It's not for me as good as Actotron, the other crossovers that we've had in the past, but it's a nice bit of fun. I don't regret buying it, but yeah, I wouldn't have paid more. I got mine from Smith's Toys in the UK, and they actually delivered to me on a Sunday. So absolutely fantastic. Make sure you pick this dude up at retail if you're going to pick him up at all, and of course let me know your thoughts on him down in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!